Mulberry Street by 21 Pilots has been stuck in my head for about a week now. So let's journal about it. I've been feeling really repetitive with my vlogmas this week. I know it's only Tuesday, but I am feeling like I'm doing a lot of the same stuff. So hopefully this week I can give a little bit of variety. I can't promise too much because I do have a 4-year-old at home that requires a lot of my attention, and a lot of like a different sort of filming requires a little bit longer than half an hour, or an hour. I would say an hour. Editing takes forever. So hopefully I can give something a little bit, even just for my own sake. I think I'm just getting bored, and when I'm bored, I don't care. And when I don't care, I don't do anything. So I am hopefully going to be able to do some variety this week. I sent my brown passport, my baby, my very first passport journal, the oldest journal in my collection, into... Is it my oldest? It might not be, because technically the olive is older, but I haven't had it as long. Even though it was made in 2017, I got my brown in 2019, I think. Maybe earlier than that. Maybe 2018. I can't remember. But it's the one that I've physically held the longest is my brown passport. Anyway, random side note. But I sent it to Melbourne yesterday for Stamp Caravan. So I think it's pretty common knowledge that Travelers Company sends around the world a bunch of stamps that you can, collect or stamp, I suppose. And unfortunately, there's nowhere in Brisbane that did it this year. They did have one on the Gold Coast, but that's a decent trip from where I live, and I didn't really feel like being in a car for an hour and a half just to simply stamp something. And then Bookbinders in Melbourne has the stamps for the next, I think, 2 weeks or so, maybe another week. They have it until the 21st. And so I messaged my friend Kieran, and I was like, wait, do you reckon if I send you my traveler's notebook, you would stamp it for me? Unfortunately, she's going on holidays because she's a fancy lady, and she wasn't able to help me out. But I messaged the store. I was like, hey, Bookbinders, do you reckon if I send you my cover, you would be willing to stamp it for me? And they were like, absolutely. They did have the clause of all care, no responsibility, which basically just means they'll do their absolute best to make it perfect, but if it doesn't come out perfect, they don't have responsibility for that outcome, which is totally fair. I think leather is a tricky thing to work with sometimes, especially when you're stamping it. I know for a fact that none of my stamps come out absolutely perfectly, so I've made peace with that anyway. But no, it's something that I've wanted to do for a while now, is stamp obviously the music stamp on the inside cover of my journals. I've seen many people do it, and I was like, yeah, it would be so great, but I just haven't had the opportunity because there's nowhere close to me that does Stamp Caravan. I am a little bit nervous sending it out into the wild, but I did send it express, so hopefully it'll only take a day or two to get there, and I will ask for them to send it express back so it doesn't take a long time. The less time it's in the system is the less time it has a chance to get lost. That's the logic I'm telling myself, at the very least. Hopefully it's good logic, and it'll come back to me in one piece in about a week. Mulberry Street is from their 2021 album, Scaled and Icy? Icy? I think it is. I probably should have Googled it before I started talking, but I didn't. So hopefully that's correct. But yeah, the album has a pink background with like a greeny blue dragon, teal dragon, I guess, on the front. So I got really excited remembering that because of the pink page, obviously. And then I had some of my hydrangeas in a bluey, tealy green color. And it was just like a little reference, I guess, to the actual album. I have to admit, I think this is my favorite spread that I've done in my regular size so far. I really love how this one turned out.